Weather approaches. We've already had the first frost of the season, but we have not had the first freeze of the season. So, Chris, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And can you give gardeners some advice as we head into the month of October and early November?
Sure, can try. What we have come to know, of course, is that gardening in the spring is a popular time to be outside and working in your garden. But what many people fail to realize is that fall may be the best time of the entire year to spend time working in their gardens. That's because the plants at this point in the season do not face the stress that they typically are going to have in the spring and summer as we go into the much warmer weather. Instead, this time of year, as the leaves begin to color, the roots of the trees begin to develop much more rapidly than at any other time of the year for most trees and shrubs. So that makes it a wonderful time to transplant them, disturb them. We've got traffic going by here with a piece of equipment. The root systems respond to being transplanted very, very well. And so in the fall, until the ground actually freezes, and that typically means at a time after Thanksgiving, in December, you have an excellent opportunity to do a lot of garden work.
Okay.
So folks know that fall color is going to be a terrific benefit to us all, just as good as flowers in the spring.
Yep.
And it's just beginning to happen, as has been mentioned, because we've had a touch of frost. We're going to see this hopefully be a pretty fall through all of the month of October. But don't miss your opportunity to get in the ground, do the planting and transplanting that you may have planned all through the year. Great time to do it.
Okay, excellent. And we're also going to talk about planting perennials.
We are. This is the time when, of course, the annuals in the garden are going to suffer damage from frost and are going to be killed shortly. It'll be time to clean all those up and sadly say goodbye and thank you for the pretty blooms of the summer.
Yeah.
And they will go away. Now the perennials also begin to look tired, affected by the frost, looking like they're done growing, but they're not. They, of course, will be back next year. And this is the opportunity to take these tired-looking perennials in your garden and perhaps split them, because some of them will be overgrown, relocate them, give them to your neighbor, and most of those plants respond wonderfully to the fall separation and so forth that you're doing. Okay. So while the soil's warm in October, don't miss a chance to work with the perennials in the garden. It's also going to be a great time, and we may see them in a minute, to plant fall bulbs and get those in the ground and ready for next spring.
Right.
Okay?
And as we have in the Hagerstown Town and Country Almanack, we list the dates for the first freeze of the season in the different zones of the Mid-Atlantic. So that is in the 2021 Hagerstown Town and Country Almanack. Let's talk a little bit about mums and the different types of weather that they can survive.
I just wanted to share with you an interesting fact that garden mums, like the one in my left hand, have become frustrating for people who enjoy them in the fall, but then fail to have them survive in the next spring. Sometimes they do, and in our mild winters, the chances have been a little better.
Right.
But many people are frustrated because they lose them. I did want to point out that there's a plant called Dendranthema, which is a hardy form of mum that in fact is reliable through the winters and into the next spring. And so you don't see them as frequently as garden mums, but if you find them, you may wish to try them and enjoy them over the years to come. Much hardier plant, Dendranthema.
Okay, so the Dendranthema can survive cold winters whereas the mum that you have on the left-hand side wouldn't survive a cold winter. So there we go. That's something. And look how bright color, the brilliant nature of that. So that's a very good tip, because I'm not sure that many folks would know that.
Many don't.
Thank you.
Bet.
All right, we are back with Chris Snavely here, and he has some advice for those who might be wishing to plant flowers in the fall season and the types of bulbs that you may want to consider.
And those are Dutch bulbs, or they're commonly called, and of course they're going to bloom in the spring next year. Interestingly, they can be planted to bloom at any time from March, April, well into May. And so in different heights, with different colors, there's a diverse number of bulbs that can be planted in the fall to bloom in the spring. What I would tell you to do is seek out a source for large size bulbs, premium size bulbs. Many times the rather inexpensive ones that you may find packaged are disappointing because they're not the sort of size that offers a good bloom in the next year. So seek out premium size flower bulbs when you do your purchasing, and I think you'll be much happier with the response. All the way into November is a great time to plant these bulbs. Don't miss the chance. It's a wonderful surprise to have them come up and bloom next spring and turn your garden into a picture.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And now is a good time to cater to your lawn as well.
It is. This is, again, an excellent opportunity presented by fall weather to do the renovation and repair that your lawn may need following a tough summer. So dethatching, core aerating, and of course overseeding are all wonderful things to get done, preferably by the middle of October. So you can do this later on, but the sort of thing that would respond well and germinate this fall, seeding-wise, would be something done by about mid-October. If you don't get it done by then, you'll want to wait until after killing frost and then do some of the seeding that will germinate next spring, purposely waiting for it to be delayed until then.
Okay.
But we're still at good time. All of September was, and through mid-October will be, good time to do lawn renovating. Don't miss the opportunity. It's probably the best of the year.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
And a special thank you to Chris Snavely of Snavely's Garden Corner in Chambersburg for taking the time out of his day to talk about the significance of fall planting. Some great advice from Chris. As we go into October, we are looking for that cool weather. Not the first freeze of the season that will end the growing season, but on the 3rd, we are expecting a frost with temperatures flirting with that freezing mark across the interior mid-Atlantic, so the growing season will live on after the 3rd. Brisk conditions with showers, perhaps a few snowflakes in the Alleghenies on the 5th, but still we are not expecting a widespread hard freeze to end the growing season by the 5th. Bishop's special events on Saturday, Vets on the Track, 5K and 10K in Springfield, Virginia, looking for dry weather, temperatures in the upper 40s. On the 4th, Race Towards Autism Acceptance, Fredericksburg, Virginia. We are looking for temperatures in the 50s with upper 50s to end the race. And another race on Sunday at Heritage Trail Challenge, Castle Hill Ciders in Keswick, Virginia, looking for temperatures in the upper 40s to start the race, lower 50s to end the race. And that is the weather forecast for Bishop's running events this weekend. We are in Hagerstown, Maryland, where the trees are starting to change colors. The leaves are starting to look a lot more beautiful across much of the mid-Atlantic. What causes that, and what weather conditions lead to the best fall colors? You can find an article about that, as well as the weather forecast all the way through December 2021 by going to our website, almanack.com, and finding out where you can purchase the 2021 Hagerstown Town and Country Almanac. Thank you for joining me this week.